Also this morning, U.S. Coast Guard cutter, this one here, is getting ready to offload more than $78 million worth of cocaine.
Where the Coast Guard cutter Stratton is preparing to depart. This crew patrols the Eastern Pacific with the help of other agencies and even international partners.
380 miles off Acapulco, a flagless boat appeared on a U.S. Navy destroyer's radar, dumping black packages into the sea as it tried to outrun the USS Samson. What seemed like a routine blip on the screen quickly spiraled into a $58 million high-stakes chase involving helicopters, battle stations, and international law. But here's the question. Why did the smugglers risk everything in open water, and what did Samson uncover once the packages were hauled back on deck? Stick with us to see the full chain of events unfold. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. A stateless boat cut across the open Pacific, riding low on the waves as if weighed down by something more than fuel or speed. Crew scrambled on deck, tossing packages overboard one after another. Heavy bundles hit the water and disappeared into the spray, breaking apart the boat's trail with each splash. What could drive men to throw millions of dollars into the ocean the moment a gray warship edged over the horizon? Hours earlier, the USS Samson had been running a standard patrol, its radar tracking the quiet sea nearly 400 miles off Acapulco.
And just held there, sometimes given a thin mat to sleep on. And it raises serious questions about the violation of these suspects' rights, their human rights.
$700 million worth of pure, uncut cocaine. This is a result of 45 days of patrolling.
The region has long served as a corridor for smuggling, where ocean currents carry fast boats packed with contraband toward waiting fishing vessels and freighters that blend into global shipping. When Samson's scope picked up a vessel moving at the signature speed of a go-fast, its command knew the chance of ordinary fishing activity that far from shore was slim. The plot on the display told a different story, an unflagged craft tearing across a stretch notorious for cartel supply lines. The destroyer's bridge sent word through the ship. Smugglers had been spotted, and the first move from the boat confirmed suspicions. Rather than attempt radio contact or even alter course, the crew instantly began dumping cargo. Every package was wrapped tight in dark plastic, waterproofed and sealed, each one worth hundreds of thousands. This wasn't panic, it was procedure. Out here, smugglers often expect patrols and carry throwaway shipments precisely to sacrifice evidence if challenged. Better to lose part of the load than face capture with it still on board. The Eastern Pacific transit route has turned into a conveyor belt for traffickers in recent years. Thousands of pounds flow north each day, moved on vessels designed to be lost. Many are powered by oversized outboard motors that can be stripped of serial numbers and abandoned at sea. Crews are recruited to face the danger, often given only enough money to gamble with their lives, but not enough to slow down when hunted. For them, there is no real profit in the packages, just the faint chance of survival. On Samson, what had begun as a calm patrol shifted in seconds. Orders came down the chain. Condition 3 was set. Alarms rang out across corridors, pulling sailors to stations, drilled into them through months of training. The destroyer's interior transformed as control rooms lit bright, screens lined with tracking data, and voice circuits carried commands briskly with no room for delay. Sensors swept the ocean. Hawkeye systems fed constant returns, while forward cameras captured close surfaces through the salt haze.
Its mission? To find and intercept drug boats carrying uncut cocaine before they can reach land. These waters, officials say, now are the preferred routes.
2.5 tons of coke was seized right off of the Central American coast earlier this month by the crew that is based in Washington State.
The ship's MH-60R Seahawk lifted from the deck, its rotor wash scattering spray as it rose to give commanders eyes above the chase. Inside the helicopter, crew leaned on imaging tools designed to pierce through night and weather. They could trace the boat by its engine heat alone, glowing against the cooler sea around it. The smugglers tore ahead, engines thundering, spraying a rooster tail behind them. From above, the Seahawk locked its sensors onto the vessel, calling vectors back to the destroyer. Samson angled across the water, narrowing the window for escape with every maneuver. Over radio, English, and then Spanish orders were directed toward the fleeing crew. "Stop engines! Heave to!" No response came, only more desperate shifting to jettison the last bundles. When no compliance followed, the aircrew received clearance. Riflemen fired disabling rounds, their bursts aimed at the outboards rather than the men aboard. The crack of shots cut through the dull rhythm of the rotors.
6 suspected drug smugglers were taken into custody. They're going to be prosecuted in the U.S. Those drugs are being turned over to the DEA.
So the crew launches its drone to serve as eyes in the sky. And within minutes, it precisely locates the alleged smuggler.
Flames briefly flared from one sputtering engine before the boat coasted into forced silence. Now adrift, the smugglers slumped against their hull, motionless except for the roll of waves beneath them. Samson closed, sailors preparing boarding teams. The adrenaline of the chase eased, but the real work had only just begun. Packages already retrieved from the water and those found still hidden on board tallied into an amount no crew member expected. Roughly $58 million worth, sealed carefully but abandoned in desperation. This interception had not only halted one load, it revealed how cartels continued to risk vast fortunes on routes they knew the Navy patrolled. As sailors loaded evidence and secured the vessel for transport, the scale of the find shifted the tone aboard Samson. It was no longer just another interdiction. It was proof that a single destroyer, armed with sensors, a helicopter, in strict timing, could strike into the heart of cartel supply lines thousands of miles from U.S. shores. The sea seemed calm again, but what happened during boarding carried a weight far greater than the chase that preceded it.
People can't even really fathom until you're out there lugging 3,000 pounds of pure cocaine off the boat.
These are pretty low-level guys.
It all depends. You never know what you get out at sea. So each guy that we interdict could have potential information on someone else in a network.
The pursuit of that single boat showed more than just a dramatic interdiction. It was a clear reminder that naval warships and Coast Guard authority combine at sea to stop cocaine before it ever reaches U.S. ports. Technology amplified human judgment that night, proving sea power can stand in for border walls miles from land. But the fight will not remain static. Drones, predictive mapping, and artificial intelligence now rise as new tools. If one destroyer and one helicopter can halt 58 million in one action, imagine what happens when traffickers deploy stealth submarines.